Israel vs. China, two countries with completely different sizes, histories, and strategies, but both are global players in military power and technology. What happens when we compare them side by side? In this video, we're breaking down their army size, budgets, air power, missile defense, navy strength, cyber capabilities, and innovation. So stay tuned because the numbers might surprise you. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most requested comparisons on our platform, Israel vs. China, technology and military strength compared. When we talk about these two countries, we are really talking about two very different models of military power. On one side, China is a global superpower with the largest standing army in the world and the second largest defense budget after the United States. On the other side, Israel is a much smaller nation, geographically tiny and with a population of less than 10 million, but known worldwide for its innovation, intelligence capabilities, and battle-tested technology. This makes the comparison fascinating because it's not just about who has more tanks or planes. It's about how each country thinks about warfare, invests in defense, and prepares for modern threats. In this video, we will explore 10 major areas: overall military size and manpower, defense budgets, air power, ground forces, missile defense, navy capabilities, cyber warfare and intelligence, technological innovation, global partnerships, and finally, overall military efficiency. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear picture of how Israel and China compare, where each country's strengths lie, and what this means for future military balance in the world. So grab your favorite drink, stay tuned, and let's jump right into the first big comparison: military size and manpower. Let's start with manpower because size is the first thing most people think about when comparing militaries. China has the world's largest standing army with roughly 2 million active duty personnel and an additional 500,000 in reserve. Add to this a massive paramilitary force, and China has the ability to mobilize millions more if necessary. This sheer scale is a major factor in its military strategy, allowing China to project power not just in Asia, but also to maintain a significant global presence. Israel, on the other hand, has a much smaller standing force of about 170,000 active soldiers. However, this number can be misleading if you don't understand Israel's unique system. It has mandatory military service for most of its citizens, which means that in a time of national emergency, nearly the entire adult population can be called up for duty. This gives Israel one of the highest mobilization capacities per capita in the world. The difference is that while China relies on numbers, Israel focuses on highly trained, highly motivated soldiers who often receive advanced technology and superior training. So while China has quantity, Israel relies on quality. This sets the stage for everything we'll discuss next, because manpower alone doesn't win modern wars. Technology, coordination, and readiness play an even bigger role. Next, let's talk money. The defense budget. China spends an estimated $225 billion per year on defense, making it the second largest military spender in the world after the United States. This enormous budget allows China to modernize its forces rapidly, invest in aircraft carriers, stealth fighters, hypersonic missiles, and develop its own versions of advanced weapon systems. It also allows China to expand its presence in space, cyber capabilities, and artificial intelligence research. Israel's defense budget is much smaller at around $24 billion annually. However, when measured as a percentage of GDP, Israel spends a much higher share than most nations. Roughly 4.5% of its economy goes into defense. This is because of its security situation and the constant need to stay ahead technologically. Interestingly, Israel has one of the highest returns on investment when it comes to defense spending because it focuses heavily on R&D. Much of its spending goes into developing innovative systems like the Iron Dome, David's Sling, and advanced drones. many of which are exported worldwide. The result is that despite having a much smaller budget, Israel's tech edge often allows it to punch above its weight on the battlefield. Air power is one of the most crucial components of any modern military, and here both China and Israel shine, though in very different ways. China has over 300 aircraft, including the J-20 stealth fighter, which is considered one of the few true fifth-generation fighters in the world. It also operates long-range bombers like the H-6K, which can carry cruise missiles capable of striking far-away targets. China's Air Force modernization has been a key focus over the past decade, aiming to compete with the U.S. and maintain air superiority in the Asia-Pacific. Israel, by contrast, has a much smaller air force, around 600 aircraft in total, but it operates some of the most advanced planes in the world, including the F-35I Adir. This is a custom version of the American F-35 stealth fighter that Israel has modified with its own software and electronic warfare systems, giving it unique capabilities. Israel's pilots are also considered among the best trained in the world, with extensive real-world combat experience. So while China has quantity and growing capability, Israel's Air Force focuses on precision, technology, and pilot skill. Missile defense is one of the areas where Israel has become a global leader. The Iron Dome system is famous worldwide for intercepting short-range rockets with an extremely high success rate, often over 90%. Beyond Iron Dome, Israel also fields David's Sling for medium-range threats and the Arrow system for ballistic missile defense. This multi-layered defense makes Israel one of the most protected nations from missile attacks. China, on the other hand, focuses more on offensive missile capabilities, including a wide variety of short, medium, and long-range ballistic missiles. China's AQ-9 surface-to-air missile system provides some missile defense, but it is not as battle-tested as Israel's systems. Instead, China's strategy is based on deterrence, having so many missiles that adversaries are forced to think twice before attacking. This shows a fundamental difference in doctrine. Israel invests in protecting its small territory from incoming threats, while China invests in projecting power and creating a strong offensive capability. When it comes to naval power, China has the largest navy in the world with over 370 ships, including 3 aircraft carriers and dozens of destroyers and submarines. This gives China the ability to project power far from its shores, control vital sea lanes, and challenge other major powers in the Indo-Pacific. Israel's navy, by comparison, is very small, mostly missile boats, corvettes, and a handful of advanced submarines. However, those submarines are believed to be capable of carrying nuclear-tipped cruise missiles, giving Israel a powerful second strike capability. Israel's navy is highly advanced technologically, focusing on coastal defense and intelligence gathering. So China dominates the seas in numbers, but Israel's navy serves a very specific strategic purpose, ensuring deterrence and protecting its Mediterranean coastline. Cyber warfare and intelligence are areas where Israel truly excels. Often called the start-up nation, Israel is known as a cyber superpower, with elite units like Unit 8200 responsible for both offensive and defensive cyber operations. Many of the world's top cybersecurity companies were founded by former members of Israeli intelligence units. Israel's cyber capabilities are considered among the best globally and have been used to disrupt adversary operations in real time. China, however, is also a major cyber power with significant resources devoted to hacking, espionage, and information warfare. Chinese cyber units are believed to have conducted some of the largest data breaches in history, targeting both governments and corporations. The difference is again in style. Israel focuses on precision operations and rapid innovation, while China uses its massive resources for long-term strategic campaigns. Technological innovation is at the heart of Israel's military strength. Israel invests heavily in R&D, creating cutting-edge drone technology, advanced AI targeting systems, and next-generation missile defenses. Many of these technologies are combat-tested and exported to allies worldwide, earning revenue and strengthening diplomatic ties. China, meanwhile, uses its industrial capacity to mass-produce military hardware at a scale no other nation can match, except perhaps the United States. It has rapidly built stealth fighters, hypersonic weapons, and naval ships, often in numbers that dwarf those of other nations. China's model is quantity with increasing quality, while Israel's model is fewer systems but maximum technological edge. Global partnerships also play a key role. China has built military ties with Russia, Pakistan, and many developing nations, using arms sales and joint exercises to expand its influence. Israel, on the other hand, has a very close relationship with the United States, receiving aid, joint training opportunities, and access to advanced technologies. Israel also exports defense technology to countries in Europe, Asia, and even some Arab nations as relations improve. These partnerships shape how each country fits into the global security architecture. So, what does all this tell us about Israel vs. China? It tells us that this is not a simple numbers game. Israel is a smaller but highly innovative nation that relies on technology, intelligence, and alliances to maintain its security. If you look at sheer firepower, China dominates in almost every category simply because of its size. But if you look at efficiency, innovation, and battle-tested systems, Israel stands out as a model for how a small nation can punch far above its weight. And this is why this comparison is so fascinating. It shows us that military power is not just about counting tanks and soldiers. It's about how you use what you have, how you innovate, and how you prepare for the wars of tomorrow. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Israel vs. China, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more global military comparisons. And let us know in the comments which matchup you want to see next, Israel vs. Russia, or maybe China vs. USA. Your feedback drives our next videos.